there's a bit of taboo thing in the DJ community, yeah, where there's a thing called a sync button. Now the sync button is something that you can put on and the tune's just gonna automatically be in time with the other one when you're trying to bring it in.
What's wrong with that? What's the problem? People using ChatGPT to write emails, like what's going on?
But it's just a thing amongst DJs where you're not really DJing if you're doing that.
Okay, so all right, but hear what I'm saying. If you're DJing, say you're DJing right now, yeah, and you push the sync button, they ain't gonna know.
No one's gonna know, but you're gonna know in your heart. Or another DJ might walk past you, be like, give you a look, like, you know what I'm saying? I see the button, like, I can see the light.
Have you ever caught someone using the sync button before?
Still have.
Did they know you caught them?
I don't know if they know, but I definitely like. It was a quick glance, innit? I kept it moving. I'm not gonna embarrass nobody. That's not my thing. That's not my style, innit? But I just know. Mental note. You're not a real DJ.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a DJ, I don't care. I'm sinking. I can forget all of that. Maybe when I get to the top of my game, then I'll do all of that.
Behind the scenes, from beyond the sideline.
It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
I don't know what intentions behind that one, but I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt.
Well, exactly.
We'll just run with it. Bit better, man. All right, so we done football now, man.
Alright, cool.
I want to talk music because I got questions. But we'll just go with it.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, we started off with your intro and we spoke about, do you go by DJ P Munrow? You said you talk us through the name evolution.
So, name evolution, so here's the story. So when I first started DJing, I kind of rushed in because I'll give you a bit of backstory, So I started DJing during COVID, during lockdown.
Right.
That's when I started, I started quite late.
I'm gonna cut you there because if you're gonna do the backstory, then you gotta tell us the why and the how you got into it.
Right, cool. So my dad's a DJ firstly, Frankie P. He's a real sound man, he's got his own sound system, still on the radio to this day,
Shout out Frankie P.
Big up Frankie P. And my brother's also a DJ. Sean Powers. From the Northwest area. I also been DJing from when I was young. Now, growing up, because it was in my face all the time, it didn't feel like nothing like special in that sense. Even though now I understand what they're doing, I understand like being able to control the crowd, I understand your tune selection, I understand the art to it now. But back then it was just whatever. So I didn't really take to it. Right. So during COVID, my cousin Trim, big up Trim, he's also a DJ as well. He does like UKG and things like that. So one day he builds computers, right? So he built one of my computers and he asked me for a graphics card that I had spare to bring round to him, And I was kind of fobbing it off for a while. And then a couple of weeks later, he shouted me, said, I bet you come today. So I went round there. And then he said, you want to see my setup, my DJ setup? Because he was doing live streams at the time. I said, cool, I'm not really interested in DJing, but come show me, innit? So I've seen it, I'm like, okay, like this actually looks like, it looks decent. You know what I'm trying to say? So he started doing a little mix of me, and I'm like, that's cool, but I'm still not getting it. I'm still like, whatever. And then he said, why don't you have a go? So picked one of the decks, and I probably done the worst mix ever, but there was something about it, like mixing and blending two tunes together that just really like, it felt so creative. You know what I'm saying? And then I went home and I got on the decks and I started putting tunes together. I was like, wow, this is like, I actually feel like I'm really like releasing my creativity, especially during lockdown when we was all just pinned in the house, like was looking for stuff to do in it. So I started doing that. And then my cousin shouted me again, say, what, you ready to come do a set? I said, yeah, cool. But I ain't got a DJ name. So I quickly put something together. I was called DJ P Double. So my first name and last name both start with a P, so I said P Double. And then as we're doing sets, I'm getting better. Like they started shortening to P Dubs. So then I changed my name officially to P Dubs, DJ P Dubs. And then around last year, around just before my birthday, August, I started thinking like P Dubs feels like something that you would like tag on the side of a train with some spray paint or put on a bridge or something. You know what I'm saying? One of them old school. So I said, I need to, like, if I'm really going to take this seriously, like, I need to be really happy with my name going forward. So first thing I've done, because I didn't want to just be put into that DJ bracket. As much as I'm a DJ, I want to do other stuff as well, in terms of the music world. So I said, I've got to take the DJ out. Yeah, so we changed it to P Munrow. So Munrow is my middle name, and it just felt a bit more diverse. Yeah, something I can use anywhere, whether it's in a little shebeen in a back warehouse somewhere, or somewhere upper class. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just felt like it translated very well with whatever I'm gonna do. So yeah, we went to P Munrow, and I ain't looked back since.
I like it. You know so question then, do you feel, but when I hear that, the first thing I'm thinking is, if you've taken DJ out your name, right, it's not obvious like what you're doing kind of thing. Yeah. But, and I know you want to be versatile, so just talk on like the marketing side of that. Yeah.
So with the marketing side of things, that people understanding what you do, for me, because I already built up a bit of a name through the live streams I was doing, and we built a core fan base, they know what I do, you get me? And then for the newer people that don't necessarily know, I make it clear on my page. So the content I'm posting, even in my bio, I've got DJ/producer. Yeah. And I'm making people know that I do this and I do that. Yeah. And that's really been the most difficult part, is how do you balance doing two different things in your social media? Because you don't want to confuse your audience at the same time. What I tend to do is, because I'm DJing and producing, I'm showing myself on the decks playing my own song.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'll post that, and then my next post might be just a song and where to go and download it and things like that, so they can kind of tie out the two things together. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's how I'm trying to do it. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but so with me, the reason why, I'll just touch on the producing side of things. The reason why I've gone into producing is because the DJing thing, it's a hard grind. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not necessarily about how good you are as a DJ. It's a lot about your networking skills, who you know, how long like people that have been doing it for a long time. It's a lot easier to kind of, because your name's been stamped, you've been tried and tested. It's a lot easier to get bookings, things like that. And what I looked at is, who are the biggest DJs in the world and what are they doing? So I look at people like David Guetta, who's the biggest DJ in the world, He's a DJ. Oh, you gotta do the puzzle, bro.
What's this?
You just gotta slide it to the middle.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Slide to the middle, yeah?
Yeah, just slide that jig.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Or lock you off after a while, innit?
That's a joke, man. Come on, guys.
So if I look at the biggest DJs, I look at David Guetta, and there's loads of different people in it. But I look at what they do, and they're DJing, but they're also producing. Yeah. So they're going to these big festivals and they're playing their music. And the reason why they're getting booked to these big festivals is because they got big songs out there. Yeah. And for me, that's the best formula currently. If that's what you want to do, if you want to be, going to like Ibiza, doing things overseas and things like that, then you need to be doing a bit more than what everybody else is doing.
And that makes sense, because it's almost like, here's my sound that's going to get my foot through the door. Yeah. Oh, you want to hear that too? I can run that too. Plus everything else. So that does make a lot of sense. So there's going to be people who are of this belief that you kind of need to focus on one thing. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you should spread yourself thin, but I'm a big believer that just do it all and win.
I agree. I think whilst you still got the energy, because look, nobody's getting younger, innit? Like we're all growing older, and you're not going to always have the same energy that you have as you do today. So for me is put your all into everything that you want to do. Yeah. And something's going to catch. If you can find a way to intertwine them together, like if they relate, then even better. But if you got to do that over there and that over there, then listen, that's what you got to do, man. Like at the end of the day, we all want to win in it, so you got to find a way.
Okay. So before we get into the producer side, I want to walk a journey with you as a DJ, right? Yeah. So to a person who doesn't really understand the craft and art of DJing, they just think playlist, press play. And a lot of people probably think they can DJ because they probably got this playlist they play in their car, and this playlist slaps. If I play this in the club, it's just gonna go off. Yeah. So talk to me about the difference between playing a playlist and actually DJing.
So the first difference is, if you're in a club, you can't play a song from the start to the end unless it's an absolute classic. Yeah, like if you're playing Candy, of course you're gonna play it to the end, right? But more time, you gotta keep it moving. So if you don't know how to firstly transition out of one tune and bring in the next tune, you're not DJing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to understand also when to drop a tune in. So you can't just drop a tune in flat and then expect the crowd to just keep bubbling. Like, you got to keep the crowd moving, innit? So you got to be able to read the crowd, and you almost got them like, it's not like puppets, but you got them, that's your job, innit? So your job is to keep them moving while you're behind the decks. And if you're just dropping random tunes in, like, it's not going to make sense to the crowd. You got to take them on a journey. You get what I'm trying to say? So beyond that, it's also being able to mix as well. So there's a bit of taboo thing in the DJ community here, where there's a thing called a sync button. Now, the sync button is something that you can put on, and the tune's just going to automatically be in time with the other one when you're trying to bring it in.
What's wrong with that? What's the problem? People using ChatGPT to write emails. Like, what's going on?
But it's just a thing amongst DJs where you're not really DJing if you're doing that.
Okay, so all right, but hear what I'm saying. If you're DJing, say you're DJing right now,
yes,
and you push the sync button, they ain't gonna know.
No one's gonna know, but you're gonna know in your heart. Or another DJ might walk past you, be like, give you a look, like, you know what I'm saying? I see the button, I can see the light.
Have you ever caught someone using the sync button before?
Still.
Did they know you caught them?
I don't know if they know, but
okay,
I definitely, like, it was a quick glance, innit? To move. I'm not gonna embarrass nobody.
Cool.
That's not my thing. That's not my style, innit? But I just know, mental note, you're not a real DJ.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a DJ, I don't care. I'm sinking. I don't forget all of that. Maybe when I get to the top of my game, then I'll do all of that.
You know, it depends, innit? Because there's different styles of DJs. So you have like dancehall DJs, you have R&B DJs, you have hip hop DJs, you have like garage DJs, funky house, amapiano, and they all DJ in different ways, innit? Now, when you're doing, like, for example, garage, funky house, amapiano, there's a lot of like mixing and blending. So putting two tunes together and making it sound good, right? With like dancehall, R&B, hip hop, it's kind of like you're dropping tunes in. So you're mixing it in, but you're taking the other one out as soon as possible because people want to hear the next one, right? Whereas other styles of mixing, it's more about how long can you hold the mix for, can you blend it, things like that. So if you're using what I call the cheek on that kind of stuff, then you're not really mixing and blending, like it's the computer.
I hear that.
You know what I'm trying to say? So that's where the kind of taboo comes. It's probably more amongst like garage and things like that, because that all comes from like vinyl days when you didn't have that button. So you had to really know how to mix. You get what I'm trying to say? So because that's translated onto the newer software where you got this digital DJ controller in front of you and you got all these buttons, like if you're using the cheat, then man don't respect it still. Man don't respect it. But more importantly, the most important thing about DJing is knowing your songs.
Right.
Having a tune selection, having a plan B. If you've got a playlist, like as a DJ, like you have playlists, you'll have like an R&B playlist, you have one for the girls, you have one that's a bit more for the man them, and then you have one that kind of leads you into a different genre. So you always got to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, you got to have a plan for everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I like that forward planning. That's the skill and the art. And not everyone can do that, because you got to almost like, it sounds like what you're saying to me is there could be 3 scenarios. I need to put my position in all 3 scenarios and pick the best one.
Of course. And you also got to be able to maneuver as well, because none of the plans might work, but you got to be ready for that and know what to do with the crowd.
Okay, cool. Fair. All right. I like that. So then, with like, when it comes to selecting what you're going to play, my question is, there might be a part of a song that I feel is like gets me up, right? Gets me hyped.
Yeah.
But not everyone might take that part of the song the same way. So like, how are you, like, is there a problem with your bias and what you like? And that I'm trying to figure out, hold on a minute. Just because I like it, don't mean the crowd might like that. Like, talk me through that. Your
bias always has to be towards the crowd, innit? Because at the end of the day, it's not about how you're enjoying yourself. The crowd needs to enjoy themselves, or you're not getting booked again. You know what I'm trying to say? So no matter what, like someone told me, they told me a rule back in the day, like when I first started, is 2 for them, 1 for you. So you're playing 2 tunes for the crowd and then 1 that you enjoy. Okay. Yeah? And that's kind of like your filler. And that's what keeps you enjoying what you're doing. Right. If you're always playing to the crowd, which I've done that, and it's monotonous, like it's boring. in that sense. Like you wanna, like the crowd are gonna vibe with you. So if you're not enjoying yourself, the crowd 9 times out of 10 they ain't gonna enjoy themselves because you're not really putting that energy out. I'm very big on like how you transfer your energy. So being the vibe provider, the man behind the decks. If your energy ain't good, like you're not putting the good energy out into the crowd. You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it's all about making sure that you definitely got to provide to the crowd, 100%. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the vibe thing then, right? Let's say you're playing and I'm going to give you scenario A, scenario B, and I want you to tell me like how it might come across differently.
Yeah.
Scenario A is you're running through the playlist, like you're feeling jumpy, you're like feeling it, you're feeding off the crowd, and you then express yourself in a way, right?
Yeah.
Scenario B is you came to the set with a similar plan, but maybe you're feeling a bit tired. You know, it's not been a great day.
Yeah.
What is the difference in output in those both scenarios for you?
The difference in output, is gonna be, again, it's gonna be like how you sort of share your energy. So being the DJ behind the decks, depends on where you are, what kind of venue. If people can see you on the decks and you're just standing still, just pressing button, next one, pressing button, you're like, what's wrong with this DJ? You know what I'm trying to say? But when you're enjoying yourself, you're bouncing around, you're dancing, you're part of the crowd as well at that point. And then the crowd are gonna respond to that. So if you are feeling in that way, like you're tired or whatever, you gotta find a way to perk yourself up. I'll be real. You can't, like you're being paid to come and provide a service for the people who are also paid to enjoy themselves and enjoy what you're doing. You got to pick yourself up for that. It's your job. You know what I mean?
No, and accountability in it.
Yeah,
that does make sense. That does make sense. All right, mixing. So you've touched on mixing. But like, talk to me about like the actual art of mixing, because it can go horribly wrong, right?
Horribly wrong. Yeah. You gotta, again, that's what comes down to you understanding your music. So if you're, as a DJ, you can't just be playing tunes that you've never listened to. You can, but it could go wrong.
Right.
That's where you leave yourself open to error. Yeah. So you gotta understand key. So every song has a key. And keys clash. So if you're playing 2 songs where the key's gonna clash, it's gonna sound terrible out to the audience. You get what I'm trying to say? You also got to understand drum patterns. Like some tunes, even though they're the same genre, you got them at the same speed. The snare on a drum, they might be out of time, slightly. And then when they're mixing together, it sounds like pots are clanging in the background. You get what I'm trying to say? So you got to understand those little intricacies in order to make things sound sonically pleasing to the crowd.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and also, you can't have vocals clashing over each other. That's a no-no. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you can't have Mariah Carey and Beyonce singing at the same time. Like, who's doing that? And they're singing different lyrics. Like that's another one where, again, to your ears, it just doesn't sound pleasing.
Yeah, of course.
You just want everything to sound as smooth as possible in transition.
All right, so can you give me an example, top of your head, of 2 songs that everybody knows that you just can't mix together? That'll clash. Putting you on the spot here a little bit, but
2 songs that won't mix together. All right, let's say, for example, Dave and Central C, Sprinter.
Yeah, okay.
Big tune. You're not gonna mix that with Vibes Cartel Pool Party.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Look, it's unless you're trying to do a mad transition, it's not really gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because firstly, the vibes are way too different. Yeah, you got to find a middle ground in between those 2 songs that's gonna glue them together. Yeah, so you might go, if you're doing like a Dave and Central C, which is, I wouldn't say it's drill, but it's like a more commercial drill tune, you're more than likely gonna wanna go something that's in between that and dancehall.
Yeah.
What that is, that's for you to find out still. I ain't doing that. Like it's just about understanding the different vibe, because every song is a vibe, innit? So if you're going from one vibe and then swinging in too far to the right, then it's gonna throw people off and they're not gonna know what to do on the dance floor. Like they're gonna be looking around like, wow, what's going on?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So then, last one promised before we go into producing. So let's say you're at an event and it's drill, Afro, R&B, dancehall,
Yeah.
All right. How would you go from, in fact, let's make it even more extreme, let's make it, we're going to do garage / grime, high BPM, right?
Yeah.
To like an R&B. And then you've got a genre in between, maybe like a dancehall or maybe like a, I don't know, dancehall or trap or something.
Yeah.
How would you start on the high BPM and then finish your set on a low BPM? How would you?
So the way I would do it, so
without giving away your secrets, man.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Basics.
So with the garage, so if let's say we're starting on garage and grime, so grime is a bit faster than garage, so you'll find yourself. I would personally start off with like the girly stuff for the garage.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the girly garage songs. Yeah, they're gonna sing along. Then you'll kind of bring it into the more, what I would say, hype garage. So like Miss Dynamite, Boo. You know what I'm saying? Them kind of tunes there, which will then transition nicely into grime because you've already kind of got them. They're a bit more aggressive now in dance floor. The kind of things out, you know what I'm saying? So you can easily go into grime now. Yeah. Now with the grime is a very difficult genre to kind of move onto like R&B and what do you say, dancehall as well. Yeah. So what you could possibly do is you can go two ways about it. Yeah. So you can go garage, grime, bring it back to a bit of garage, and personally, what I would do is go a bit more R&B garage. So like the singy kind of songs. Which would then transition nicely into the R&B. Now, what you could also do as well, like there's a lot of like garage dancehall mashups. That's like my little cheat code. So they might have like a Vibes Cartel on like one of the funky house rhythms or something like that. Now, for me, that's like a nice way to sort of bring in both. Because you're doing a bit of the grime and garage. You also got the dancehall lyrics over it, so now they're ready for it. You know what I'm saying? They're singing along to the dance hall. Cool, give us dancehall. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just about finding good transitions in between. Every DJ's got a cheat code. Like I can't give away all the cheat codes.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? But there is a lot of music that you can play that will bridge it nicely.
Okay. You know and then when you're reading a crowd, I know I said last question,
Cool, man.
This is definitely
I'm good, man.
Producer.
I can talk about this all day.
You know when you're reading a crowd, so like if I'm reading one person, you're looking at body language, you're looking at facial expressions, pattern of behaviors, tone of voice, how they might respond to something different. Like what does reading 200 to 1,000 people in the dark look like? Because that's very different.
It is different still. So what I'll say is, so one of my DJ mates, big up Essence, one of my DJ boys, he's quite seasoned in this thing. And he said, if you got 200 people and let's say most of them are bubbling, he's focused on the 5 people over there that ain't bubbling. Right. What can I do now to bring those in? Because these lot are fine, but those lot ain't. So how do I include them into what we're doing? Obviously, some people just go to a rave to stand up in it. So if you tried a few things, then forget about them. They're doing their thing. But one of the main things is like it's all good when people are jumping around and screaming and having a great time. But there's also a thing called like fatigue on a dance. So you don't want to over fatigue the people because eventually they're gonna run out of energy, and then you got all these bangers lined up.
I've seen that. At big events.
Exactly. So you got all these bangers lined up and then they ain't got the energy to keep moving. So you want to kind of keep them, you want to gradually build them up. Or you're bringing them up and then bringing them back down. But you got to have a plan on what you're going to do with it. You can't just go gung-ho and just play all the bangers in your first 20 minutes of your set. Otherwise, you're going to have a dead crowd for the next 40. You get what I'm trying to say? Right. So, it depends on the vibe you want. Like if you want people to just be bubbling, as long as you got a couple of people two-stepping, you're nice. And then when you do play the hype stuff, that's when you want to see the energy. Yeah. So
makes sense. Makes
so whatever you're playing, you want to see the energy reciprocate that. So if you're playing mellow stuff, you want to see people just bubbling. If you're playing the hype stuff, you want to see people hype.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. So producing then, All right. So in music and like even like making a song, you got so many different jobs. So you got songwriter, you got singer or / rapper.
Yeah.
You've got someone who makes a beat. You got sound engineers. Like, what is a producer? And where does a producer fit in that whole process of?
So a producer for me is the person who's creating the music. So in terms of the actual beat.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might have a singer there as well. And then you're laying the vocals down for them, whatever. But the producer is the person who is putting the music together, in my opinion. So you're doing the drum pattern, you're doing the snares, you're putting the melody on, all that kind of stuff. That's the producer.
So what's the difference between a producer and a beat maker?
Same thing, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, same thing.
And with a beat maker, so they've made the whole instrumental.
Yeah.
And then you can that makes sense. That makes sense. So in your journey then, you've kind of touched on how you get started because you're looking at what the best people are doing and you're saying, right, I can actually use this to get a foot in the door, and then the DJ can come along.
Yeah.
If you look at the hardest thing in DJing and the hardest thing in producing, how would they compare?
Night and day. I think producing is 10 times harder than DJing.
Really?
10 times harder, bro. As a DJ, like, for me, you only got to get to a certain level of skill, which is doable if you put hours in, and you got a decent enough ear. Producing, it's making music. Yeah,
of course that's harder than, isn't it?
You know what I'm saying?
As a DJ, limitless ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a DJ, you're buying these songs that the producers have made and spend hours of their time on. Yeah. Producing, like, I'm still quite early into my journey, but there's been times when I spent 2 days just putting a kick and a snare together, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, there's so many intricacies to it, and the small minor details that we don't always hear as consumers make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
The biggest difference, like just a little bell that comes every 16 bars.
Listen, on yours, I can't play yours because my phone's being on the mix we were talking about, there's a little dung dung.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
So like, because when I listen to music sometimes, what I like to do is I like to try and separate the different instruments.
Yeah.
Just to appreciate it better. Because when I do that, then I get lost in it because I'm trying to feel right. That's what the snare's doing. That's what the bass doing. That's what the flute's doing, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So when I was listening to yours, when I heard the ting, I just said, yeah. Now if I was a DJ, I would have willed it just with that.
And you know what, again, but those little things, like if I played you the beat without that little boing sound, it will sound alright, but it wouldn't hit as hard because it adds character to the tune. Those little things add the character in it. And that's why I enjoy it.
That thing is like, imagine you got oxtail and rice,
Yeah.
and coleslaw.
Yeah.
That little boing boing sound was just that 10% more gravy.
Come on,
that the dinner needed.
Or the little tutu dumpling.
Yes, exactly. Or the festival. Yes, that's it. Or the saltfish fritter.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what separates you, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're gonna go back or not, like it depends on those little things. So yeah, for me, like that's what I enjoy the most is the smaller details. Okay. Because you can put a drum pattern together, but then actually make it into a song, and like putting a bass line down. A bass line is for me, it's one of the hardest things to get right because that's part of the drop. So when you listen to a tune, it's building you up, and then you get the drop with the bass line. If that's not really hitting, the tune's dead.
And I think that's why a Mapiano is what it is.
Yeah.
Because that drop
every time, it don't miss. It don't miss, bro. And then I would say after, I'm not gonna say what's harder, but sound engineering, so mixing and mastering the tune now is probably the most important part after producing the beat, in my opinion, because for you to play in a club, you need someone that knows what they're doing to engineer these sounds and change the frequency, equalize, and get everything sounding how it needs to sound, so that when you do play in a club, it sounds like how it's meant to sound. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is, once you've pressed save and send, that might not be enough for every environment the song can be played in.
I don't think it is at all.
Wow, okay.
I don't think you can. Yeah, you might be able to play it in the bedroom or to like in a house party, whatever. But if you want your tune out to the masses and be able to distribute it, it needs to be mixed and mastered. I'll be real.
Okay, so that I'm learning as we go along. Yeah. Mix and mastering,
very important.
And mix and mastering, is that being done live at the event? Or
no. So that's so once you've finished producing a beat, you then send it to the mix and master engineer or sound engineer, who's then going to spend another 2 days doing that. And then once they've done that, now you've got your finished product.
So why can't you do that when you're making the beat?
It's really difficult, bro.
Really?
It's really difficult.
So, effectively, if you could, you would.
If I could, I would. 100%.
It's just a unique niche skill set.
Yeah, like, put it this way, I've done a bit of like learning on YouTube, and I can do it to a very basic level.
Yeah.
But then I've heard, for example, I've mixed and mastered a tune, and I then sent the same tune to someone else to mix and master, and it's night and day.
And is it night and day in difference, or night and day in quality in difference, or one?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like the way the bass hits, it's not just because we're like we're not all trained. Or isn't trained for this kind of stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mine ain't either. But these sound engineers, they hear the smallest little frequency that we don't hear.
Yeah.
So the little bit of harshness, the little bit of airiness, when it's a bit too muddy, like they know. For example, they can listen to a tune and say, "Oh, you got to cut that frequency. Yeah, frequency 2,102. Yeah, cut it down a little bit by 1.2 decibels." You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like they're on a different level when it comes to listening.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. And you know what? Listen, just want to make it clear. I'm learning.
Yeah,
So sound engineers, big you up. I don't mean to belittle your craft or anything.
Big up sound engineers every time, man.
All right, cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're DJing, now that you kind of got both hats here, when you're DJing, do you ever listen with your producer ear to say, "Oh, if only this tune had like, is there a link? Does it?"
100%.
Yeah.
That's kind of what got me into producing, because as a DJ, like everyone has a certain sound that they're looking for, Like there was a certain sound that I was looking for, and I found quite a bit of it, but it's limited. You're just limited to what they're putting out there, what the producers are making. So for me, it was like, I like this kind of music, I like this sound, but I ain't got enough of it. How can I get more? Just make it myself. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like when you got songs and it's a banging song, but you're saying, "Oh, if only they done this, or if only they changed that note, or if only the bass was a bit more heavy, it'll be a perfect song." So yeah, I'm definitely a bit more attentive to like what I'm hearing, or like the songs that I'm buying now.
Okay. And then with that example you just gave, could that not be an example of the mix and mastering?
It could be, yeah.
As well as could be evil bit.
Like there's certain songs that I've got, I'm like, you didn't send this to nobody to get mixed and mastered, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, if you did, like, this song will be doing big things.
Yeah.
Because I like the song, but I know that it's missing certain elements that you would get if you had a mix and master engineer who's going to bring out certain frequencies, certain harmonics, things like that you can't get from just producing.
Yeah. And you know what? I've had times where, as a consumer, I'm listening to songs in my car.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening, I'm saying, this don't sound right. Like, and the quality of the production of it has ruined my experience. So it's not that it's a bad song. There's nothing wrong with the lyrics of the actual sound quality is so bad. I'm off now.
You can't enjoy it. And that's why sound engineers get paid very well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, because what they're doing is every song that we like, it's not just down to the producer, but you got to give a lot of credit to the sound engineers, because they're doing real magic. And the amount of money they spend on their equipment, because it's not all like digital stuff that's just on the computer. Like they got actual machines, external machines, where they're twisting knobs and all this kind of stuff and making all these things come into play. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's I'm actually trying to learn how to like properly like maybe go on a course of sound engineering, because it just makes sense. If you're producing your own music and you can engineer it yourself, you're saving money, you're saving time, and you're doing it to the quality that you want it to be done. Yeah, because every engineer is going to have a slightly different idea on how they want it to be done. They might say, "Oh, you want the snare a bit louder," but you know how you want your song to sound. So if you can do it yourself, 10 times better.
Yeah, makes sense. So when you're DJing, like a DJ can maybe specialize in genres, but they can specialize in multiple genres, right?
Yeah.
So like, I imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, I imagine that if you're a DJ who does R&B, Afro, dancehall, etc., you're comfortable in all three, but you might be uncomfortable with country or classical, right?
Yeah.
All right. With producing, is it a similar sort of thing?
Yeah. Because every genre has its own like specific kind of pattern. So for example, house music is very do. It's a 4-bar pattern. They call it 4 to the floor,
Yeah.
Garage has more of a skippy kind of drum pattern.
Yeah.
UK funky has a certain snare that makes it UK funky. So as a DJ, you gotta understand like R&B, or let's say like drill. It's all about the 808s and how they use the 808s and the hi-hats. So you definitely gotta study and understand the music you're listening to or you want to create, to understand the foundations of it in order to produce it. Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, I can't just get on the computer and say today I want to make dancehall, and I've never obviously I listen to dancehall, but I've never really studied it in terms of the breakdown of the instruments and things like that. So yeah, you definitely got to do your research, and you got to listen differently. You can't just listen as a normal consumer, as you said. Yeah, you got to listen and break down every single instrument, where it's hitting, and then you should have a better idea to create it. Yeah.
So with music and genres, you have the genre itself. So let's call that the primary.
Yeah.
Then, and I don't know if this is an actual term, but I'm just articulating how I understand it.
Yeah.
You might have a secondary.
Subgenres, yes.
So for example, if you take wifey rhythm from grime, that's grime, but then it's got an R&B undertone.
Yeah.
So does that, what complexity does that add as a producer and a DJ, perhaps, when you're making music?
So with so for example, garage, you got 4x4 garage, which is more closer to, again, the house kind of drum pattern, but then you're making it's obviously faster than house, so that's what makes it garage again. And then you got two-step as well. So two-step's more like the kind of old school garage, which you'll probably understand more like the stuff that was in the raves back in the day. Then you also got bassline. Yeah. So they're all garage, but they're all slightly different. So again, that's more understanding how these different subgenres work, how they what's the specific thing that makes it that, and then being able to put that in on the decks, because on the computer, for example. So it's not as simple as just having an idea of it and then thinking you can go away with it. You got to really understand the complexities of it to, make it into a song.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cold. All right. Listen, man, we gone well over. I said I'm going to be selfish. This can have to be 2 parts.
You can do that, bro.
This can have to be a 2-part episode. So we'll do the football part 1, and we'll do the music journey in that part 2. But big up for coming.
Come on, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, always, man. Always.
It's always a pleasure coming on here, man. This is the third time now.
Yeah.
I think it's my third time, so.
And not the last as well.
Not the last, definitely, man, 100%.
We need, obviously it's just me today, but with Els and everyone.
Yeah. Got to do a big link up.
Yeah, you get different dynamic. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thanks for coming. Again, just pause. I'll just plug the socials again. So Instagram, TikTok, Be On The Sidelines Pod, X, BTS Pod with a 0, YouTube, Be On The Sidelines. Where can the people then find you?
P Munrow on TikTok. P Munrow Instagram, also P Munrow on SoundCloud. Catch me there, man. Just type in P Munrow, you'll find me, innit?
Yeah.
Trust me.
But yeah, big up everyone.
Salute,
Peace,
man.
man.
Peace. Yeah.